Welcome to Tracking the Wolves. I'm Associate Athletic Director Zach Flackus, and my guest today is NSU head volleyball coach Brent Aldrich. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing awesome.
Congratulations. You guys just concluded your season. You had a tremendous season. I know you wanted it to go a little bit further than you did, but we'll kind of recap a little bit towards the end of the season and talk about some postseason tournaments and awards you guys received. But 22-8 is what you guys ended on the year. Expectations going in the year? I mean, I know you guys thought you were going to have a pretty good volleyball team. Were your expectations that many wins?
I think 20 wins has got to be something you look at if you want to go to the NCAA tournament. And so 22 was nice. It'd been nice to get 25, which would mean we'd be going to Cedar Rapids. But yeah, I think we had a decent year.
You know, we play in honestly the toughest volleyball conference in the country. Concordia St. Paul, 6-time defending national champion. Duluth actually won the, did they win the conference tournament or the regular season title?
They won the conference tournament.
And then you throw in Southwest State, you throw in Augustana, Wayne State, Northern. I mean, there's just a really tough volleyball, brand of volleyball that's played in the Midwest. Is there another conference in the nation that'll rival us that'll have that many quality teams?
The Big Ten, the Pac-10. There's nothing like our conference in volleyball. You know, Tampa plays maybe one match in conference. Basically, the championship match is going to be played Thursday when Tampa plays Concordia, and so maybe it was already played when Concordia played Duluth. But yeah, there's nothing like it.
You know, just to back up as we look at it, you know, we in the regular season we get 4th in our conference, which, you know, you end up winning 20, 21 games on the year, and you end up 4th in our conference. You go to our conference tournament, very nice win. You end up beating Augustana. Augustana had beat you during the regular season. You came back in the tournament, and you really kind of got after them. You beat them pretty soundly. What was the difference postseason compared to regular season when you played Augustana?
We made a couple changes. Moved Sammy a little bit. We put Tori Bayach on the outside and match up a little better. And the kids just, I think, were pretty juiced to play that game, losing twice to Augustana. And of course, it's a big match. We were fighting for our lives, I think, at that point to get to the NCAA tournament, and so were they.
You know, and as you look at your season, 22-8, the only opponents you lost to the entire year were ranked teams.
Yeah.
So you get into our conference tournament, we have that nice win over Augustana, you know, and then we're still facing Concordia St. Paul, Duluth, Southwest State, Wayne State. I think they had an upset to get in the conference tournament. We go through our conference tournament, we end up losing our second round match, but we qualify for the national tournament. And Duluth ends up winning our conference title. You go into a national tournament and you end up facing the number 3 seed in our region, but they're the 6-time defending national champions and had been ranked 1 or 2 all season long. So what was the mindset going into that first round game of the regional tournament?
Hey, we made it. I don't care and it doesn't matter who you play, they're all good. I mean, the MIAA schools had 30-some wins each, and we actually had the least amount of wins of anyone that was in that region. And although we had beaten some of those teams, it's just whoever you play, if you can get out of our region, you'll win a national title.
Yeah.
Basically is how it works.
You know, and just to kind of backtrack a little bit, some great honors received by both your team and yourself on the season. NSIC Coach of the Year. I think we had 4 all-conference performers. Who were all-conference athletes in volleyball this year?
Kelsey, Drew, Tori, and forgetting one. Sammy.
You know, just great honors. You have 4 all-conference performers. I don't know the last time we had 4 all-conference performers. Kelsey Chambers ends up being an all-region both for the coaches and the Daktronics. I know there's still some other awards out there, whether it's All-America honors, additional tournament recognition or area recognition, and then you receive the NSIC Coach of the Year. Now, some people may look back and say, wow, they finished 4th in the conference, but when you look at our conference, to finish even in the top 6 or 7 in our conference is really difficult and something that, you know, Northern hasn't done in a while. But to be recognized by the other coaches in our conference, what did that mean to you? What does that say about your program being recognized as the Coach of the Year? And
the coach, I mean, my thing is I hope it helps us recruiting. I'd trade that for a trip down to I said I'd trade it for a trip to regionals, and we made that. But I certainly would trade any individual recognition to get one of my kids at a higher recognition, or go to the NCAA tournament and go further.
Well, and I knew you wouldn't really talk about it, so I had to find a way to work it in there. But it really is recognition for your entire team and the hard work that you and your coaching staff have put in. You know, 4 all-conference performers, Coach of the Year, all regions, some other awards that'll come up. And then making this NCAA tournament, how will this impact your recruiting? Where are you at in your future recruiting? I know you probably can't name names or anything, but where does this put you?
Well, I think we're finally caught up. We have a commitment for 2015, and we are working on a transfer right now, and so I think we're in good shape. We lose Sammy and Whitney, and we return everyone else, and I think we're adding some good pieces. But so is everyone else in this conference.
Sure.
You know, Duluth is going to lose their starting setter and they're starting right side, and it won't matter. They just reload, and everyone in this Midwest knows that this is a conference to play in. So we're excited to see where next year takes us.
Well, and you mentioned Whitney and Sammy, your 2 seniors on the team, provided some great leadership. I know Whitney, as the season went on and you moved some positions, her playing time increased, but you've really got a young team. Tori's a freshman, Kelsey's a sophomore. I mean, you've really got some young tools to work with. How do you keep them motivated? What do you do in the off season to get them better?
Well, hopefully get to practice. But I don't think they're satisfied. You know, we can't ever be satisfied with, hey, we made the NCAA tournament. Now, that was a goal, but I think the goal has to be bigger than that. And they'll be juniors, and then pretty soon they're seniors, and so you can't say, well, next year, because pretty soon next year is on you, and then you're done. And
Absolutely.
So I was really happy for Whitney and Sammy. I think, you know, getting to the NCAA tournament was a big deal, and you know, that was our last shot at doing it, and so you always want those guys to go out at a better rate than they came in, and so I think our program is going in the right direction. Well,
and you know, you alluded to a little bit of the practice scenario earlier. This facility you play in, the Barnett Center, is extremely busy. This year I thought we had a really good home court advantage. I mean, when teams came into here to play, it was intimidating between our student body. There was a couple games where we had, you know, just a great fan support at the end of the season. There was a doubleheader we ended up doing with basketball. You guys were drawing great just on your own as volleyball. So what does it mean to be able to play in the Barnett Center in front of our fans?
I think it's awesome. It's one of the 2. I would probably give Mankato the edge. It's a little newer facility, but as far as you walk into a facility and wow factor, this is it, which it helps recruiting. Just walking in here and saying, hey, this is where we play, and then you put 3,000 people in here, and we had some recruits here that night, and when we did the doubleheader with basketball against Sioux Falls, and I think that kind of tradition, and being good. No one wants to watch some of this 500, but when our team gets better, then hopefully some people watch us play well, and they'll be back.
Well, it has been. It's been a great volleyball year. It's sad to see it end. Do you got a favorite going into the national tournament? I know you talked earlier, Concordia. You think they've just, you know, and they're just so solid, so good. We had a party for the national tournament game up in our team room, and had some fans and coaches, and a lot of people show up, and they are an awfully good team, and it was just fun to get to see you guys play that last game. So, Coach, with that, I'm going to let you run, get back to recruiting and working with your team. Okay. This has been Tracking the Wolves with Zach Flackus and head volleyball coach Brent Aldrich.
We know you want family-friendly sporting events.
Sporting events where you can be comfortable
and entertained in a positive environment. Watching great individuals and teams compete.
With commitment, effort, and good sportsmanship. That's what the Division II Game Environment Initiative is about.
Be a part of the excitement and find out why.
These student athletes say with pride,
I chose
Division II.
Welcome back, and on the show today we got Tori and Drew. Guys, how's it going?
Good, great.
Great. So how'd the season end up for you guys?
It was a good start, and I mean, we went through a lot of good things, but it ended on a kind of tough note, but it was still a good experience.
I think overall we did really well, and we made a lot of strides this year towards our ultimate goal. And even though we ended it with 2 tough losses in the NSIC and the NCAA regional tournament, I don't think that has tainted what we accomplished this season. But obviously we all wanted to do better than we did this year.
Could you touch on a little bit on your last game, how it went and stuff like that?
Well, we played Concordia for the 3rd time, so we kind of knew what we were up against, but I just don't think we ever really got going. So that was kind of tough to deal with, but
I think that we all knew that we can play better than what we did, and I mean, Concordia is a great team, and it's shown by their history, but we're also a great team, and I think that next year that we will have a chance to beat them, and that's where we really need to get in order to reach our ultimate goals. So
you ended with a couple tough losses at the end of the year, but you guys are probably really proud of the way you finished, because I believe it was the first time our school's ever been ranked in the top 25 Division II poll.
Yep.
So that's a pretty big accomplishment for us.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
I'm pretty excited about that. Kept watching the rankings and seeing how they were all changing every time. So.
How are you guys going to adjust to losing the seniors on your team this year? Is that going to be pretty tough?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. We had Sammy, who was a great role model and just a great player on the team, and Whitney, who was just also a great player and a lot of fun to have there. So it's going to be different, but every year it just changes, so just go along with it.
I mean, every year is a different year, and we have to have people step up to be the new leaders, and we also have to have new players either come in or on the team step up and take over the spots that have opened up, so that way next year we can hopefully be stronger than we were this year, even though we've lost 2 really great people on our team.
What was your guys' mentality when you found out that you guys were ranked? Like, what did your coach say? Did you guys tell you to just kind of keep your cool, or were you guys just totally stoked?
And we were happy about it, but Coach didn't really look at that as though it changed us or anything, because he kind of just expected that from us, and we expected that from ourselves. Like, we knew we could be so much better, and like, I don't know, we just held ourselves at a higher standard.
I think that, in our opinion, it was just that they finally respected and actually gave us the recognition we deserved. So I think that the whole season we were expected to play like we were a top team in the country, and I think Northern's gotten overlooked in years past because we don't have the history of being a volleyball powerhouse or having that kind of, we don't have a coach who's been here for years, like he's new. So I think that we finally saw it as like we're finally getting the respect we deserve. Like, we got preseason picked like 8th this year, and last year we had beat the 4th seeded team in the NSICs, and then we dropped to 8. So I just think like it was like we finally got the recognition that we thought we deserved.
What do you guys need to do better to improve on this season going into next year?
I think we need consistency overall. Like, I mean, there was some games, like when we played Duluth, like we played amazing. Like, we would have beat Concordia if we had played like we played at Duluth. And then there were, I mean, overall, it wasn't like we were a team that was going like this. It was just that we needed to play at the high level that we could in every game, because that's what you have to do to be the best. And so I think that if we could do that next year, then we'd be right where we needed to be.
I agree.
When does the off season start for you guys? Do you still have a little time off now, or do you have to start workouts, or?
After break, pretty much is when we start our spring season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does the coach kind of encourage you guys to get away from it a little bit, or does he want you to still like hit and set and?
I mean, he wants us to keep touching a ball just to keep us in that routine a little bit, but I don't know, it's not really an expectation, I don't think.
It's more like stay in shape.
Yeah.
Like, don't, like when season ends to January, don't just do nothing, because when you get back in January, you're going to die.
What's your guys' spring season like? Do you guys have individuals with certain like positions on your team, or do you guys just kind of set it up and go in and hit when you can?
It's just like a normal practice, pretty much. We just are getting back in the routine and like dealing with like having a new team, pretty much, since we did lose some people. So it's, I don't know, it's basically just practicing.
Do you guys ever lift?
Yeah, we do lift.
Okay.
Early. 3 days a week.
I can't really speak about spring season because I'm a freshman, so this will be my first spring season.
Are you nervous?
I'm not too nervous, but I hear about a lot of early mornings, which should be fun, and that should be okay.
So as a freshman, are you excited? Like, did you expect this season when you were coming in?
Yeah, I did. I expected us to do well. I came here with the goal of winning a national championship, and I didn't think, I mean, I knew that we probably wouldn't be able to do that in my first year because we are a young team, and it would be a big leap from where we were last year, but I never counted us out, and I knew that we were going to make the NCAA tournament because I knew that that's what we really needed to do this year. So I have high expectations for myself and high goals for the team, and I think that we can accomplish them, but it's going to be a lot of hard work to make it there.
All right, well, that was Troy and Drew, and we'll be right back after these messages.
NCAA championships are something special.
Filled with memories we will carry with us for the rest of our lives.
We ask that you cheer hard for your institutions.
Acting responsibly and courteously towards those around you.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, enjoy the game, and let's provide our student athletes, coaches, officials, and fellow fans the respect they deserve.
And welcome back. Let's get to the Qdoba Athletes of the Week. And they go out to senior Allison Kusler of the women's basketball team and senior Jared Hannigan of the men's basketball team.
Allison Kusler led the Wolves on the weekend, scoring a total of 29 points. Kusler is a fast-approaching 1,000 career points as she has broken into the 900s after the weekend. She recorded her first double-double of the season in the Wolves' overtime loss to Minot State. Allison pulled down a defense rebound with only 8 seconds remaining in the game and broke away to tie up the game and bring the two teams to overtime.
Jared Hannigan shot well from the floor in the Wolves' 2 games versus Minot State and University of Mary, going 4 of 8 each night from the three-point range. Jared scored 14 points, 12 points from the three-point range, and added 3 assists in the matchup with the Beavers. Night 2 brought 10 points and 2 assists against the Marauders. He also tallied 3 rebounds in the 2 games.
Some upcoming events that we have. Northern women's basketball team will return home next weekend as they take on Minnesota Crookston and Bemidji State, with game time set for 6 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday, respectively, from Walks Arena. The NSU men's basketball team will return home for the first time in conference play next weekend as Minnesota Crookston and Bemidji State come to the Watts Arena. The game with UMC will be at 8 p.m., tip Friday, while BSU will be at 7 p.m., the game Saturday.
The NSU wrestling team will return to action this Saturday for their second dual match of the season as they travel to Chadron, Nebraska to face off with Chadron State in a 2 p.m. match. It will be NSU's final event before winter break. The NSU swim team will be on a bit of a hiatus until they travel to the MSU Moorhead Dragon Invite on the 17th and 18th of January next year. That's all we have for the show today. We want to thank Coach Aldridge, Drew, and Tori of the volleyball team.
And go Wolves!